Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Wrath of the Righteous with me, Bring It On. Let's see what's behind this locked door.
I'm glad I was useful to you.
The Rotten Guttery. Definitely sounds like a place you should buff before you go inside. But we're not going to.
Something over there. Can't hide from me.
I finished here. Is there more?
Aha!
I sense something. I finished here. Is there more?
Sweet new recipe. Demon Slayer soup. Barrel charge, a composite shortbow. If the wielder of this +4 speed composite shortbow has an animal companion or a similar creature, it is affected by a constant haste spell effect. So we found a few items like this that boost your animal companion, or companions, because if you go Azada, you get Ivu as well as another potential animal companion depending on your class. A lot of really cool options there.
I'll go ahead.
Alright, I guess we go to the tavern now.
I know the way.
Bad Luck Tavern.
Please, be careful.
I'm glad I was useful to you.
Prismatic ring. This beautiful and elegant ring has two names engraved on it, Darthelic and Akar. The latter name is written with more love and care than the former. The style and the way this ring aged tells you it was made around the Fourth Crusade. After a closer inspection, new symbols reveal themselves, and that Akar has died during the Crusade in Darthelic's arms. This ring was made to honor Akar's memory and their love. The ring gives no hints on what happened to Darthelic afterwards. You might only wonder if he is still alive. This ring allows you to cast an improved version of Prismatic Spray once per day as a 17th level wizard. The wearer can recharge this ring by consuming spells, for which the sum of their levels must be equivalent to at least 9.
I finished here. Is there more?
It'll probably end up getting sold. Everything leading outside. Alright, let's go this way. People say that Hepzibah is hiring workers to do some job for her. Lots of workers. A freaking lot. A whole army. Maybe I should seek her out. It's a bad idea, man. You're probably gonna get killed. Alright, a ledger. Most of the book's pages have been torn out. Of the remainder, only the top one is covered in writing. Receipts. Brew, 3 barrels, too expensive. Better get the stuff that's gone slightly bad. Absinthe, 3 bottles. For important guests. Don't waste on regular clients. The broth drained from the baths and the 10,000 delights. 2 buckets, smells of meat. Add some salt and pepper, then serve as chef's special. Meat from Hezru stock. 4 sacks. No more Hezru runs. The second to last rotten meat hunter never came back. Roots, 2 sacks. Find new diggers. These ones can't dig for crap. Sean spices. Half a bucket. Use sparingly. Add to drinks and snacks. That way more clients will come back for another dose. Payments. Beer from the material plane. 6 barrels. Should order some more. It tastes like crap, but the guests from the material plane drink it like there's no tomorrow. Last year's beef. 3 sacks. Note. You can easily get rid of the smell with garlic and mustard. Vegetables from Grum's store. 3 sacks. Make him either drop the price or water his patches with different filth. The clients are unhappy seeing a blue carrot in their soup. Sean spices, 1 bucket. I need to rip the chef's head off for using so much of it. It's not salt for frick's sake. Rotten cheese, 2 buckets. Was a big hit with the locals, should order more. Need to ask them to add more maggots next time.
Can't hide from me.
Follow my lead.
I restore the familiar face. This halfling, with his horribly burned face and crimson whiteless eyes, looks strangely familiar. After a moment's recollection, you remember his features. This is the sobbing man who stumbled into a nest of Escavors and lost his sight as a result. Luckily for him, you arrived just in time to pull him out of that ditch, only for him to end up in an even more dangerous and sinister place. Who are you? The halfling scans you suspiciously with his terrifying red eyes. He speaks in a silken voice, while his hand carefully hides under his clothes, where undoubtedly a weapon is hidden. The name's Sam Crow, and just who are you? Don't you recognize me? I saved you from those Vescivores. For a few seconds, the halfling is silent, stunned, and then exclaims in excitement. From one eerie eye, a single bloody tear appears, out of sheer emotion perhaps. I thought your voice was familiar, but for the life of me I just couldn't remember where I'd heard it. So it was you. What a surprise. What a joy. I thought I was a goner, and then you grabbed me by the skivvies and snatched me out of the claws of death. I never had the chance to repay you. When I came to, I looked around and there were crusaders everywhere. My first thought was that they got me. They'd caught up to me, those pious dogs. I hadn't noticed that I was unbound and unguarded until later, when I took off running. I wasn't right in the head, you see. I had a nasty fever. I didn't even get the chance to meet my savior. But not this time. I'm not going anywhere. Here, take it. This is for old Sam Crow, the scoundrel, who still lives and breathes instead of lying dead in that blasted canyon. Now what's wrong with your eyes? I thought I healed you. Halfling grunts grimly. The Vescivores left some crap behind. Some kind of acidic slime, or maybe those wretches laid their eggs. I don't know. Whatever it was, on the 7th day my left eye went dim. On the 9th, some sort of shadow spawned in my right eye, and it kept wriggling in there. A healer in the Battle Bliss cut out my old eyes, and sewed these in instead. Now I can see in pitch darkness, and tell differences in temperature, do a bunch of other stuff. A master of his craft, that healer was. Ruthless, though. How did you end up in that crevice? As soon as those crusaders started mopping up our forces in Canabras, I knew it was time to split. I'm being watch interrogators snooping around everywhere, asking questions. Just how did Baphomet cultists get into the city with such ease before the attack? You know, half our agents are scholars, not spies. Catch one, and he'll write out the rest. So I was out of there in an instant, on my way back to my mates. I wish I could have found a proper guide, though, that wouldn't have fallen into that Vescivore nest. Why were you scared of the Crusaders? As I was lugging it away from Canabras, I just couldn't shake the image of the gallows they'd hang me from, for treason and all that. You wouldn't believe all the stunts I've pulled off. I smuggled Lady Monago's letters into the city, hid cultists under the guise of merchants' guards in my own home, brought Faxon into the Tower of Estrad, did some research on the Blackwing Library for Lord Xanthir. Who showed the demons where the Crusader barracks were on the first night? Me. They're all cut down, unarmored, and half asleep. When the resistance gathered at the Defender's heart, who was it that found out and told the demons about it? Me again. The whole thing hinged on messengers and spies like me. That's why the Crusaders would have gladly hung me if I were caught. You scum. So many good folks died because of filth like you. Tila clenches her fists, her eyes burning with rage. Hey, has she lost it or something? Get this lunatic away from me. She'll hurt me. Why work for the demons? Offer wizardly knowledge. I've always been curious to a fault, especially when it comes to magic. Once I was allowed wizard's books, there was no stopping me. So I met a guy who let me read a whole bunch of banned books. It wasn't until later I found out that he was an apprentice of Xanther the Plagued One himself. Now that one knows a lot. So I has to be the Plagued One's apprentice too. But that's how I chose my side. What are you doing in the abyss? Halfling gives you a sly smile, which looks rather creepy with his red eyes. Same thing you are. Hiding. You're one of us Baphomet agents too, right? Why else would you hole up in this dump with me, instead of fighting over in Galarian? I have a keen eye. Heh. I can spot a fellow cultist from a mile away. Sam Crow grins smugly, clearly proud of his own insight. I'll be going now. You take care now. And remember, this is no Galarian. Things are rougher here. The quarterstaff. This +4 Flaming Burst quarterstaff grants its wielder a +2 bonus on attack rolls and a cast level for all of evocation school spells. That's pretty good. Now let's talk to Burgess. A wrinkled demon with broken fangs and a missing eye stands before you. The eye socket is occupied by a large, squirming, multi-legged insect. It seems not to cause the demon any discomfort. He greets you with venom in his tone. Welcome to the Bad Luck. I'm Burgess, the innkeeper. Our establishment upholds a high standard of service, and that it's better to eat and drink here instead of a ditch. Sleep here at your own risk. Drown the rest of your life in cheap swill, or purchase goods of the highest quality and dubious origin. Upon giving your entourage an appraising look, the demon adds in a silken voice. We accept payment in gold and slaves. What about dragon bites? Says Ivu, chomping her teeth. Do you accept those? I'll show you payment, you big meanie. Dirty floor, terrible booze, a clientele of scoundrels, each one more dreadful than the last, and an innkeeper who's a crook and probably a creep. Ah, the perfect venue to celebrate our arrival in this god's-forsaken place. Who wants to keep me company, maybe even entertain the other patrons with a few Crusader songs? I doubt they've heard them before. You can count on me. We do not abandon our own. Let's find out what the locals here use to drown their sorrows. Clearly it can't taste any worse than that mongrel liquor made from venomous spiders. Yeah, show me your wares. The demon kicks open a large chest filled to the brim with all sorts of things. There are weapons and bloodied clothing. It seems these items once belonged to visitors from many different worlds. Here you are. Have your gold ready. I don't offer credit. The demon's voice drops to a whisper. By the way, I have something unique I can offer only to you. An Ahindran crystal. It holds incredible power. And what's an Ahindran crystal? You mean you haven't heard of them? Everyone in Illusory Ira talks about them non-stop. Well, listen. A lot of demons appeared, and they were so strong you couldn't help but wonder how they acquired such power. And the strange thing is, those same demons used to be common riffraff, but then they became, well, I don't know what they are, but whatever it is, it's strong. Rumor has it these supposed Ahindran crystals are the source of their power. Nobody knows what they are or how to get them, but everybody wants one. The word has grown quite popular. These days, everything's Ahindran this and Ahindran that, no matter where you look. It's all hogwash and lies, of course, but my crystal is the real deal. Don't ask how I acquired it, that's my secret. But I could sell it to you. Fascinating. I'm interested. The one-eyed demon greets you without enthusiasm. Bed, booze, or bargain? What brings you here? The repulsive insect in his eye socket spews a stream of cloudy yellow mucus. The demon gently dabs it away with a greasy rag. Oh, here it is. Demon that grants its wearer a +1 competence bonus on knowledge world skill checks. That's super exciting. I thought I was going to stand out a little more, so I went past it, what, 2 or 3 times? There we go. We'll make 10 gold off his own ledger. Alright, tell me the latest rumors. Demon pours a shot of liquor that smells of blood and bitter ash. No problem. Have a drink and we'll talk. 500 gold. Pay 500 gold and a drink. Deal. Demon observes your face with obvious interest. The liquor stings and fills your mouth with the foul taste of salt and rotten fish. What do you want to know? Tell me about Illusory Ira. In short, there's no order in this city. There never has been and never will be. There are no laws here, as we demons spit on laws. The only law here is might makes right. Take everything you can, and give away anything you can't protect. Obey those stronger than you, and maybe you'll devour someone else. Or they'll devour someone else. Everyone does what Nocticulus says. He split Illusory Ira into 3 quarters. The lower city, the middle city, and the upper city. The elites live comfortable lives above. The fools and losers rot below. And everyone else sits in the middle and dreams of climbing up, though they mostly fall. Each quarter is walled so that no one goes anywhere they shouldn't. Guards watch the gates. Although in truth, the guards are just a bunch of the most vicious and violent demons who carry out Nocticulus' commands. If someone cuts you down in front of them, they won't interfere unless she orders them to. Then again, if you decide to bash someone's head in, they won't concern themselves with it. The only reason they might chase you away is if they want to loot the corpse themselves. The important thing is, don't kill anyone in front of a crowd, and don't bother guests from other planes. Nocticula has her reasons. She's trying to turn Illusory Ira into the interplanar bazaar of the abyss. And as you walk around Illusory Ira, keep track of the time. I'm not in some tiresome don't waste your time sense. Watch the time as if you're in a jungle, and a predator was lurking in the brush. It might pounce on you and freeze you in place, stealing days, months, even years. You wouldn't notice any changes. Everyone around you would grow old and forget about you. In the abyss, time is a fickle and unruly thing. Tell me about this quarter. The demon points to a bottle of liquor. Imagine Illusory Ira in this bottle. The lower city is the bottom. The explanation is quite apt, as the bottom of the bottle is coated with foul-looking scum, and a dead insect with 2 fangs mouths is stuck to it. 2 fanged mouths, yeah. A cesspit. If someone or something needs to be eliminated, they send it to the lower city. They say the arena is the heart of the quarter. That's nonsense. This whole quarter is one massive arena. Everyone here is a murderer, a thief, and a scumbag. The bloodshed never ceases, and the denizens of Illusory Ira watch it with delight and wager on who will emerge from this lake of blood. You may think of the slums as a useless appendage, but they are the main source of entertainment for this city. Think about the other quarters of the city. The middle city is all about trade. The 10,000 delights offer sex, the flesh markets deal in slaves and weapons. The mercenaries and assassins sell the death of enemies. The most successful business person of all is Chimera at the harem of ardent dreams. Her merchandise is Nocticula's favor, and the favor of the powers that be. The upper city is for those who already have everything and have no use for trade. Imagine if you were a creature of divine power that could live in complete comfort, free of almost all limits. That's the kind who live in the upper city. It'd be wise to stay away from them. In the lower city, they'll just kill you and devour your corpse. In the upper city, they'll pull your soul out through your nostrils with a red-hot needle, cook it into a stew, then force you to eat it and wash it down with a cocktail made from your eyes and marrow. Are there many folks from Golarion here? Quite a few, most of them wear special accessories. They even draws an imaginary circle around his neck. They're slaves is what I mean, or meat sometimes. We do get free ones from time to time. Scum, as a rule, the only type who can survive amongst demons. Your fellow Dampiers come here more often than other kinds of Golarions. Their way to or from Kabiri's realm, I guess. Your vampire kin have a lot of common interests with his ghouls, no matter how much you turn your noses up and pretend you're better than other kinds of undead. Cool. More reaction to our character. Have you heard of someone named Willidus? Of course. That's the name of the demon who serves as, shall we say, Nocticula's court mage. The name has come up a few times recently because the innkeeper's voice drops to a low, conspiratorial tone. They say Discourse servants sent assassins after him. He grabbed the locust the wrong way. Now he's holed up in his palace, which he's turned into a fortress. Alright, everything is clear. One last thing, mortal. You must have noticed that Illusory Ira was not built for your kind. It'd be easy for you to get lost in our streets and die an inglorious death if you didn't know how to fly or teleport. Why should I want you to die while you're still drinking? Take this. If you lose your way, take it to any arch and it will transport you here. Nocticula's idea. to aid guests from other planes such as yourself. Where can I find Nocticula? Demon goggles, then bursts into a deafening laughter. Tiny bugs fly out of his maw. Wiping away bloody tears and giggling, he grabs a particularly nimble insect and tosses it back down his gullet. You can find her in her palace. You can find her in the palace, mortal. The thing is, she won't see just anyone. The last person who had the nerve to show up uninvited now lives in the catacombs. Everyone calls him Scrap. Care to guess why? I don't know who you think you are. You will not be allowed on her doorstep unless she invites you herself. To receive an invitation from Nocticula, you got to be an influential and renowned figure in Illusory Ira. Or you could do something to make her mad. Sometimes those two things are one and the same. How do I earn an invitation from Nocticula? The demon shrugs. Your chances are slim, but you look cocky, so you could try the gladiator fights in Battle Bliss. Everyone loves a good butcher. The dirtier and bloodier you fight, the more respect you'll earn. Only fools fight fair, so you must prove you know the ways of the fighter's craft. The crowd will love you if you torment the loser before finishing them off. Make them shriek, squeal, and beg for death. And then you can count on having the fight of your life. You'll face an Hindrian League champion. Your death will be a symphony of suffering, and the audience will remember forever, or will forever remember. Hard to read. I must can only dream of such a fate. You can cozy up to someone in the upper city. The more influential your patron, the more respect you will be shown. Just remember that in Illusory Ira, only the most skilled predators make it to the top, like Lady Valexia. More often than not, their offer of friendship is an introduction to their intrigues. They will get into your head, twist your thoughts, make you hate yourself, make you destroy everything you ever loved with your own hands. That's their idea of fun. If you know how to, shall we say, solve problems, you could try to get under Shamira's wing. He presides over the harem of the ardent dreams in the Middle City and rules Illusory Ira. Lady Nocticula does not stoop to such trifles herself. Manning the city is dirty, bloody work, and Shamira is always in need of capable assistance, especially since she changes them as soon as they start to reek of her dark deeds. Walk through the slums. Everyone you'll see here are there tried to climb higher but fell into a trap. There are plenty of warnings in their incoherent ramblings. I am the commander of the Galarian Crusaders. Show some respect. So you're a big deal in Galarian. So what? Let's make him as a surprise. The Crusaders don't have much authority here in the Abyss. Here, everyone sees you as an outsider with a doubtful past. If you want to carry any weight here, you have to build up your reputation. Alright, I need a room for the night. 1,000 gold coins, and you take the room in the back. It's quite a sum, I know, but you can clearly afford it. I pay 1,000 gold coins, deal. For your sake, hope you're a light sleeper. Some pranksters have taken to breaking into rooms while their occupants are sleeping, healing their eyes, and stitching their mouths and ears together for fun. I didn't actually want to rest. You've picked a terrible place for a night's rest, outsider. Now we'll gut ye, and help ourselves to your things.
Let's try this way.
But we're not even equipped, are we?
Unexpected outcome. Wounded.
Begone, fiend!
I will resist!
Alright, cool.
As it should be.
So I didn't expect to have to deal with that without having my equipment. In fact, where's my equipment? Did they take all my stuff? Oh, that's right, I had a fitting and equipped. Never mind. I was freaking out, man. I don't remember what all I had equipped. I just had one of these, right? No, I had this.
I know what to do.
Alright, cool.
That is not far.
Whenever you find a tavern in a game, you should always rest there at least once. Hi, Ilara? Greeting with a nod is a middle-aged sorceress with short dark hair, a skinny face, and prominent cheekbones that bring to mind images of predatory birds. Despite the dark circles under her eyes and her overall worn-out look, her voice sounds friendly and welcoming. Hey, you're not a local, are you? Have you come from Galarian? That makes us fellow countrymen, since I hail from Absalom. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Magister Myalara, a certified specialist in resolving magic-related issues, and the captain of an airship called Starcatcher III. Now, what's a sorceress from Absalom doing in this rat hole in the middle of the abyss? For a couple of seconds, the woman's gaze grows distant, and a bitter expression appears on her face before quickly fading. I suppose you could say I'm trying to cheat my own fate. In the current stage of my life, the Abyss seems like the best port to call home for me. There aren't a lot of experienced and at the same time trustworthy captains around here, so I never sit idle. You seem honest. How did you manage to survive in this place? Frowning a little, Myalara crosses her arms in a resolute gesture. I see where you're getting at. You're asking how a captain who doesn't grab everything that isn't bolted down, a captain that doesn't steal cargo and doesn't throw passengers overboard, how can they survive surrounded by a gang of bloody pirates? My answer is simple. My principles protect me. I strictly follow the unwritten aeronaut code. I never ignore those in distress. I never attack other vessels. And I honor the integrity of the cargo that I am entrusted with. Maybe I look like an idiot to the other captains, but I don't care. My doggedness earns their respect, even if it also provokes their ire. Besides, they know that I'm stubborn. I'll defend myself to the very end. I suppose that's the real reason why they haven't slit my throat and seized my ship yet. I'd like to know more about you and your ship. I can understand your curiosity. You won't find another ship like Starcatcher III in the Abyss. Actually, captains like me are rarity here as well, for obvious reasons. Tell me about your ship. Starcatcher III, as you can guess by her name, is not the first ship I have captained, but she is, without a doubt, the most technologically advanced. She has been through the most amazing adventures. She's the most reliable and neat vessel you can find in the Midnight Isles. She and I, we've been through serious hardship more than once, but my ship has never failed me. Once, Starcatcher III even made a short raid to the Rift of Repose, the place where the souls of murdered demon lords slowly disintegrate, imprisoned inside crumbling stone sculptures. Plus, I should also note that Starcatcher III has a unique reputation in these parts. She has never participated in pirate raids, never transported smuggled goods or slaves, never passed by other vehicles in distress without providing help, never been in service to any of the demon lords. I can't think of any other ship in the Midnight Isles that enjoys such a good and honest reputation. Ilara utters the last words with pride, as if she were talking about a living creature instead of an airship. Who works on your ship? I handpick my crew personally and extremely meticulously. I try to recruit those who are not completely corrupted by the prevailing customs of this place. Let's put it that way. Even here, there's a chance, a rare one, but still a chance to meet a mortal with a good heart, who, though poisoned by this malicious environment, is not yet beyond redemption. I do my best to help these people, and if I'm successful, I give them enough gold so they can relocate to some other plane, then I send them on their way. I hope that this way, I'll be able to save at least some decent souls. Alas, in this case, failures come much more often than successes, so to protect my good-hearted but corrupted crew from making irreversible mistakes, I have to rely on some spells. With a smile, Ilara taps her finger against her temple. I call it disciplinary thought correction. Starcatcher the Third, so there was a first and a second. The cheerful smile of the sorceress fades away. Starcatcher the Second crashed on the rocks of Elenithia. We were sailing over Mara Island when the mutiny broke out. It's an evil place, where discord and hostility filled the air like a noxious miasma. Part of the crew tried to seize the ship, the others remained loyal to me, and a massacre ensued. Defending myself, I had to fight my friends till I was the last one standing, the last survivor. All by myself, I barely managed to guide my ship to Elenithia. When I was bringing her into land, the rocks tore into her like a fishmonger gutting a fish. Starcatcher II was irreparably damaged. As for me, I escaped with a couple of bruises and a chipped tooth. The sorcerer squeezes out a bitter smile. As for Starcatcher I, it was because of her that I decided to settle in the Abyss. How'd you wind up in the Abyss? The face of the sorceress becomes grim. Her words seem to come from somewhere cold and remote, as if from the grave. I was once a member of the Arcanamirium, the most prestigious magic academy in Absalom. Back then, I was a captain too. I delivered special cargo and passengers at my colleagues' request. I've been assigned to a risky and extremely important rescue mission on the plain of Abaddon. I had to rescue a group of Pathfinders who had gotten into hot water there. I had literally ripped them out of the claws of the Gravedragger, the herald of Xiphus, god of accidental and pointless death. And that son of a gun never forgave me for that show of disrespect. He put a curse on me. People around me started dying, both those I cared about and those I never even heard of. News of horrible, pointless, and tragic accidents that cut lives unnaturally short followed me wherever I went. But nothing happened to me. I managed to get out of trouble, any trouble, without a scratch, even when some violence raged all around. I tried to get rid of my curse, but no one could lift it. Soon after that, Starcatcher I was wrecked in a terrible storm. Then I decided to go into voluntary exile and stay away from the planes where civility, mercy, and common sense are valued. Here in the Abyss, I can at least avoid mourning those whose lives are cut short due to my curse. Besides, the Abyss is insane and bloody enough even without me. My cruel fate can add very little to this crazy whirlwind of aggression. Lan listens to the tale with rapt attention, without moving a single muscle, and seemingly even forgetting to breathe. This is the first time I've seen a real captain. Tell me, how does it feel to, well... Lan stops, able to find the right words. With a soft smile, my Alara supplies the rest. To be an aeronaut? How can I describe it, lad? It's just the best job in the whole world. I understand. The sorcerer smiles briefly. I'm always at your disposal. I'm leaving now. Fair winds to you too. If you find yourself in need of an excellent airship and a skillful captain, just let me know. Alright, there's another guy back here, Red Mask. I think he's the last one to talk to. The one-eyed demon greets you without enthusiasm. A bed, booze, or bargain. What brings you here? I was almost robbed in your inn. The demon shrugs, and a fat black centipede crawls out of his ear, as if it's taken an interest in your conversation. What's that got to do with me? Came here for a room for a night and a night's sleep, and you got them. Did I say anything about security? Get lost. I'm not looking for drinking companions.
I'll go ahead.
Fine.
Focus on the goal.
So sadly I can't just heal my character. And we don't have fast healing anymore, so... we're in a bit of a pickle. Alright, so we do want to get to the arena. We'll do that next.
Time's not waiting.
So we should probably go... you know what? Let's do this. We go back to the Nexus. I'm going to rest. We'll see if we can't find that boy in the Nexus that we rescued. I'll speak to him in the next one. Even shows up here. Might not. Let's take a quick peek inside the cave.
Follow my lead.
Yeah, so he doesn't seem to appear in the camp. Can we do... Yeah, we'll do that.
Hey, sister. Are you moping again? Snap out of it. Come over here and have a drink with me.
I can't get drunk from your alcohol. But the offer of company is very nice. Thank you, sister.
Alright,
As it should be.
so I'm gonna call the episode here. Off camera, I'm gonna head back towards the Battle Bliss Arena, because it can be just a little tedious to get there. And then we will do that next time. Enter the arena, see about participating. Hopefully I get to use my whole party, and it's not like, oh, you just have to use your main character. This place has been sanctified. It can protect the area around it from the corruption of the Abyss.
That is not far.
Awesome. Alright, but for now I'm going to call it here. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.